So there's obviously a lot of wars going on, but I'm also missing a lot of colonial moments, which is almost just as big as another civ taking a city. And now, as we continue to progress through this campaign, I'd like to focus on empires in the intros of some of these videos, just to talk about a few. Because we don't have info addicts, I'd like to dive deeper into kind of what are the things that are going on behind the scenes, and Persia is one of them. Persia is one of the examples that I pretty much of my intro, where I didn't even realize that they had begun to colonize Saudi Arabia. Or I guess the Arabian Peninsula, I should say, because this is not Saudi territory at the moment. But yeah, I wasn't expecting that. Persia's doing really well for themselves. The Mughals probably are okay. I mean, with 2 cities, actually they have 3. Let's not forget about this city they stole away from India. But I think that if Persia is able to hold on to enough of these cities for a good amount of time, they'll raise a big enough army, I think, to easily wipe up, two cities here. I could definitely see them controlling the subcontinent of India at some point, and maybe even eventually attacking Babylon. I know that right now their relationship with Babylon is okay. But definitely, I could see Darius. He has possibly a pretty good game, because Arabia's not doing as well as I think we all thought either. A lot of people picked Arabia. I expected Arabia to do pretty well, but they're not. They're not really colonizing the desert. They're not moving towards the north, and they're not moving out towards the east. And it seems like Darius is doing that himself. So I expect a pretty big game from Persia. They seem to be really the only power out of the Middle East. I mean, let's not forget, they could always move up towards the north. We've got the Huns here with only 2 cities, a very weak power too. I mean, they're trying to regain some of their strength back, but they're also in a very tough spot. So at this point here, the Congo have stolen away the Egyptian capital. At this point here, no matter what direction Persia moves to, if they can hold on to these core cities and not get involved in a conflict for the next, not involved into like a major conflict for the next 20 turns, yeah, I think they will be definitely a power that arises out of kind of the Middle East here. So, but we'll see. Anyways, let's go and check on the new borders here. The Congo doing really, really well in Africa, obviously. We'll see if they decide to maybe head down south and try to take Memphis. Memphis is, Egyptian cities are very easy to take. Excuse me. I mean, besides the fact that you have to, cross over a few rivers, and I don't think Egypt has... There's no way Egypt doesn't have bridges yet. They should have that technology. It doesn't look like it, but maybe that's kind of surprising. Do other civs have technology for bridges? I don't know. I guess maybe it's just a graphics thing. I'm pretty sure it is. But either way, it doesn't matter. Those rivers are going to eat up movement if the Congo do decide to attack Memphis. But I think it's only a matter of time before Egypt falls. Thebes is always in an excellent location for a city. And it's always an amazing city traditionally in games, in TSL maps, because it's got plenty of luxuries off the Nile River. It makes a lot of food. So this is a big move for the Congo. Really think that the Congo are starting to run away with it in Africa. It's still kind of too early to tell. It's still, I think, way too early to tell. We still have Ethiopia here settling more and more to the south. They've got 2 more settlers, so they just settled 2 cities, and they have 2 more upcoming, which is actually not the best strategy for Ethiopia. They shouldn't be playing this wide, but I guess because the Congo are so wide, at least they'll be able to use their unique ability against, I guess, their rival. I don't know if they're rivals yet, but they will be very soon. Congo going with another settler as well. We've got a huge Moroccan army, which I believe is going after the Egyptians. If they make it there in time, then yeah, they will probably take over Memphis, because I don't think the Congo are bringing in also a small force. Remember, Morocco's not going after... Oh, boom, we've got Mali about to drop. Mali's about to lose their first city. I don't know if they're going to lose their capital, though. Yeah, the Ashanti they're attacking 2 different fronts right now. Bam, that city has fallen, and we'll see if they kind of continue to approach the capital. They do have trebuchets, powerful siege units. It does seem like Mali has been falling behind in the kind of technology category, because catapults versus trebuchets. Yeah, I think that could be an issue. So the Ashanti at the same time are growing in the northern parts of Africa, or I guess the sub-Saharan region of Africa. The Congo look like they're going to get here first, which means that they would wipe out Egypt before the Moroccans get here. But I mean, what was Morocco really going to do with these two Egyptian cities? I have no idea. And I don't know what Ethiopia is doing either. I realize they have this massive force moving through Arabian lands, but I don't know what they're doing. Anyways, okay, so we've checked in on that. We've got Greece going in with some more settlers to settle North Africa, it looks like. How is Rome doing? Remember, Rome is still at war. I believe they're still at war with Napoleon. Portugal's been sending off quite a few settlers themselves towards the north. I know they've got a... Actually, no, they had one in the... Oh, there it is, right there. It's moving through the Baltic Sea right now. So Portugal, I think, is going to go colonize probably modern-day Russian lands. Maybe Eastern Europe. A lot of this stuff is still open for the taking. And Novgorod better get ready because Russia has definitely made their own comeback. So I know that, you know, Russia has been losing cities, and it's pretty incredible to see Poland make their own comeback, but Russia's still pretty powerful. And at the end of the day, I still think that they are probably going to be a great power at some point here. But we'll see. But yeah, obviously Rome, Greece, maybe Poland now seem to be maybe the front runners in the European continent. Seems like that. I mean, it really depends. If Portugal destroys Madrid, they'd be pretty powerful here in Iberia, but, you know, we can't really tell. Let's check on Indonesia. How you doing, Indonesia? Looking okay. You haven't settled anymore, but you're filling out all your islands with units. That's pretty good. We've got a bunch of border gore here, but Siam's not doing bad. Siam just needs to desperately attack the Champa. We've got the Sioux taking over what city? The Sioux just took over Pocatello's. Pocatello's, I think, is this his second city? California also continuing to do their own settling with 2 settlers. Wow. So they already have 5 cities, San Francisco being their capital. This is not their true capital, though. Sacramento was already taken. I mean, California's just going to go run to Alaska. Oh, this city was founded too. So the settling is pretty insane right now. It's very strange to see so much settling still going on at, you know, 1100 AD, somewhere around that time period. 1110 AD, I guess I should say. So now Texas and the Aztecs have joined the coalition against the Shoshone. Pretty smart move by Texas there. Let's not forget that Washington is at war with Canada right now, and actually he is about 2 turns away from taking the first Canadian city. But will he be able to defend New York? I think America's ran out of units for the most part. Beginning the siege here. Ooh, we've got a Latin American war going on. But Texas is going to have to double back around and fight some Shoshone troops. I mean, I think the Sioux will probably be strong enough to take over the Shoshone capital. Still pretty crazy. And bam, the Ashanti have taken their second Mali city away. This one was almost coastal, and pretty much Mali's dead, right? I believe Mali had 1 city. Oh, they have this city down here. So, yeah. Dang, Ethiopia. Look at Ethiopia colonizing. And, whoa, I totally missed that. Ethiopia and the Boer peaced out. Boer gave up a city to Ethiopia. That's huge, because that pretty much breaks the Boer, to be honest. Unless they settle a bunch along the western coast, the southwestern coast, that's going to break the Boer. I don't see this ending in a good way for them anymore. Okay, so Songhai and the Boer are at war. They're, I guess, helping out their friend Greece. Alexander will be going after Songhai as well. And the Congo have began their siege of Memphis. Actually, not technically. They're still working on it. The other war that popped up is in South America. We've got Colombia versus the Chinook. I'm surprised that the Chinook know any sort of South America. I guess it's been a while. It's been enough time for the North American civs to know the South American civs. But Brazil will also be going after Colombia, which is probably for the best. I mean, at this point, somebody needs to start to gain more strength, or else the Inca are going to take over. The Inca will definitely take over. I wouldn't be surprised if Argentina even sends in a force. Problem with South America is, like I said, especially when it comes to it's the cause of the jungle, and as well as there's a bunch of jungle tiles and rivers, but a lot of rough terrain. It's gonna be hard to get over towards this region. The Amazon is massive in this map. We have Texas versus the Aztecs, which that's gonna distract the Texans even more. We got the Incas versus the Aztecs too. Remember, the Aztecs have been incredibly aggressive when it comes to their colonization. They've been going after the Caribbean. They've been going after northern, right, kind of the Panama Canal. Someone could still technically settle the Panama Canal. There's a nice 4 tiles here that anybody can settle. I don't even think an AI could mess that up, but we'll see. I mean, who knows? They were close to messing that up there. But I'm hoping that we'll have a Panama Canal. We probably won't have a Suez, but at least a Panama will be, I think, pretty cool. Remember that the Mayans and the Aztecs are still at war. But the Aztecs still have a lot of forces. Even though they might be behind in technology with their Jaguars still out, it's still something. Texas, please, you're getting distracted, man. And look at that. America is going to make a massive mistake. He is retreating from this Canadian siege, and he's going to go and defend New York. Pretty big mistake. I'm actually really shocked that the Minutemen are out. How is Washington that ahead in technology? And how are they not winning? That's got to be one of the first musketmen in the world. Musketmen type units in the world, because I haven't seen anything else, at least not in the New World, at least. And you know what? The Shoshone might fall actually a little bit short from taking over. The Sioux might fall a little bit short from taking the Shoshone capital. It's starting to look that way more and more. The Shoshone capital is not bad. It's definitely in a pretty good spot to be, I think, very defensive. But I don't know. We'll see. Let's check on Eastern Asia. Mongolia invading. Mongolia is invading China, and this is not good for China. So there was a coalition against China. I do remember that in the last video. Mongolia will surely take over Shanghai, and it looks like Korea is going to take over Beijing. Japan also making their landing in Eastern Asia. So just like that, China will be stuck with, I think, just one city. And Siam might be the one that takes that over. Dang, so there goes my pick. I mean, man, that did not take long. We're not even in the double digits of this series. And my pick is gone. Okay, and bam, there goes Mali too. So the Ashanti also gaining a lot of strength. Oh, Portugal's coming down here. Portugal looking like they're going to do their own colonization. Okay, so these windows that pop up are going to be really important that we look into, because without the Infoetics, this is the only way we're going to be able to get critical information. So the world's most well-fed people, I think that we could probably look at this and assume that these empires will probably have a lot of population, more than likely. Maybe not. But yeah, Vietnam with 8 food. We've got Harold with 7.5. Babylon with 7.3. Pretty big drop-off to Colombia, Austria, and Novgorod. Genghis Khan doing pretty well with his own growth. Maybe that's why he's not settling that much. Maybe he's got a lot of food growth and he's got a lot of population. 3 double-digit cities. That's a pretty good start for him. I mean, the AI, Genghis Khan usually doesn't play that way. He usually doesn't play that strategy. Oh, well, I guess it's not that big of a surprise, since the Koreans have their Hwachas. Those are powerful siege units as well. So they should definitely take this city. Oh, did Mongolia go first? Yep, so they'll take it over now. There goes Korea. Korea's looking pretty good, but now there's going to be a threat between... Oh, no! Oh, we've got Indonesia and Tibet going at it. Why did they declare that war? How does Indonesia know about Tibet? I guess the world's a lot more global than I think we're assuming. Australia also going after Tibet. Now, the old world civs probably don't know the new world civs. I can almost guarantee you that. I haven't seen one caravel just yet, but I don't know. I'm slightly blind, so you guys know that by now. But I haven't seen anything just yet. So we have the Pacific civs declaring war on Tibet for some reason. At least Indonesia and Australia. That's it for there. How's Persia doing? Persia, you doing okay? You're doing okay. You don't look like you're under siege. We've got Greece settling around kind of the Jerusalem region. And is this Germany going after the Ottomans? I believe it is. The Ottomans have pieced out Tibet. We've got Poland and Russia finally piecing out. Oh, and Poland was forced to give this city back. Poland gave this city back to... And this city's been exchanged multiple times. Remember, that's a big deal. When civs give up cities in peace deals, that's full population going to them immediately. Half the population doesn't die, so by the time the resistance is up, it's a pretty, up and running city. 8 pop is not bad at all. So Catherine made... that's a pretty big victory for Catherine. Okay, so something just happened in Latin America. I believe, yeah. The Aztecs lost this city, so the Inca are continuing to grow. They seem to be kind of the powerhouse, the big threat so far to South America. Brazil hasn't made any progress against Colombia. And Argentina really isn't settling any more than their original 4 cities. I mean, those are good 4 cities. Those are not bad. Lots of population. But they're not going to war. And Chile doesn't seem that powerful. Still seems like there's kind of a stagnation here. Ooh, big European war that just broke out. I do want to check on briefly how the Sioux are doing. Sioux still haven't made any progress with the Shoshone capital. That's pretty big. That is pretty big. And the Canadians are also not going to be able to take over New York. Is this Texas that is attacking Canada? I think it is. Maybe that's why Texas is so distracted. They really see how weak Canada is looking at the moment. Okay, but we got to check out on Europe because that's a big European war that broke out. Greece and Rome are going to be big rivals throughout the campaign, and Greece continuing to go off towards Africa. They might be able to settle the Suez since there's no city minimum. There's no minimum requirement. Barcelona was settled too. That's been settled for a while. I don't know why I missed out on that. Okay, I'm sorry. I think I didn't mention, or I think I mentioned that Mali was destroyed. Mali's not destroyed. Their capital is destroyed. This is their last city, but, you know, ultimately, South Africa's not looking good. The Boer are not looking too powerful, and Mali, with this 1 population, or this 2 population city, is not going to be able to hold back an onslaught from the Congo or Ethiopia. We've got the Mongols attacking Tibet now. That's the only, I think they've got a front, don't they? That's too far away. I don't think anything too big will happen there. So the Russians won't really be involved with the Roman war that much. And Greece, or both Augustus and Alexander, don't really have the navy to make this as interesting of a war as maybe it might have been in another 100 turns. In 100 turns from now, if Alexander and Augustus are still doing as well as they are now, then I think that war in the Mediterranean would be really interesting. But we don't know if both of these civs will be as powerful as we see them now. Greece is continuing to gain strength as they continue to colonize. It's a pretty smart move. They'll probably be settling right around this region here. Okay, so we saw the Chinese, I think, lose their last city to the Siamese. We've got Norway going after Tibet now with Greece. I didn't mention that. Yes, so wow, China. I thought this was really going to be the best campaign that China was going to have, but I guess not. I think they were destroyed. Now, I don't think I mentioned this, but another civ that's been doing a lot better in colonization is Norway. I know a lot of people were, upset. Some of the people that were rooting for Norway were a little bit upset that they weren't moving, but now they are. And they also, don't forget that they had focused on building a military while they were just stuck with 1 city. So now they have a military and 3 cities, whereas if you look at Sweden, they're nowhere near that like that. They don't look like they have as powerful of a military, although Sweden seems like they're ahead in technology with knights and longbowmen versus spearmen. Clearly, Sweden has access to iron. Not sure if it's because they traded for it, or is this the iron? Iron? I don't know. I don't know where they're getting iron from, because they're more than likely trading for it. They have to be. Unless there's like I don't know, some sort of city somewhere else. I don't think Sweden has settled outside of Scandinavia, not yet at least. But they must be trading with it, I think. Anyways, I'm going to stop right there, though, guys. Spain going after another city. I believe the Roman-French war is still occurring. So Rome is facing kind of a threat from all sides here at the moment. But a lot of things are going on. It is so crazy to keep up. I thank you guys so much for helping me out in the comment section. I know some of you guys are helping me out and showing the wars and the big events in the comment section. So thank you so much for that. And thank you for watching this series. And I will see you guys next time.